make myself take YouTube footage too.
I'm gonna put back on the big Sherpa shearling 70s one.
She was saying this is like some designer that I think did this like one-off one. The armor thing is cool. This one is supposed to be what Quavo was gonna wear with the spikes, but apparently he didn't wear it. Random furry one. Jeremy Scott. Another Jeremy Scott, which is teeny tiny.
Do you mind if I just take a few photos and then we'll head over there?
This is so ridiculous.
Here, let me stand up and try to get
the full effect here.
New acquisition.
It's wild.
This is insane. Nice.
Welcome to the Mark Boudelier Show, where we show Johns and sometimes drip. Drip or drown, baby. Drip.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It is I, Mark Boudelier, and today we have a tier list video. Woo! Tier list video! Yeah! Anyways, I asked you guys over on my Instagram to send your favorite fashion trends, your least favorite fashion trends, and everything in between. I compiled about 20 of them. I'm gonna run through them, and I'm going to put them in a tier list, and we will see what the best and worst fashion trends are, in my opinion. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel. Hit the push notification bell so you know when my next video will be, and like this video. And comment. I'm serious. Subscribe. And if you're returning, hey, thanks, I appreciate it. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. The first one is Uggs, and I will go ahead and say a lot of you guys put in brands more so than trends. I realize a lot of these brands have that sort of trendy item, but a lot of these are just brands. So first we have Uggs, and although I don't really have an issue with Uggs, I think most of us sort of just think about the Christian girl autumn aesthetic, the sort of basic white chick aesthetic from like however many years ago that was a thing. I feel like I was in middle school when Uggs were like really popping. It was like Uggs and Toms and stuff like that, but they're comfy, they're cozy. I can't really blame anyone for wearing them. They put out some new stuff that I actually don't mind. I just haven't owned them. I'm gonna put Uggs in C tier. I think that's sort of where they belong. They're not like the greatest thing in the world, but they're also not the worst thing in the world. So C it is. Next up, and we all kind of saw this coming, is Mischief's big red boots. That's pretty much all that anybody talked about for like a good couple weeks there. And I said to you guys when they released them that you will never see these again. After a few weeks, people will wear them, they'll take their silly little fit pics, and then they will be gone. And to be honest, I feel like that kind of happened. So maybe you guys should listen to me more, huh? I'm gonna put them in F tier, and we are going to move on, just like everyone did from the big red boots after having them for a week. Next up, we have Solomon's, and the person that put these in there, I think said that they were their least favorite, which I was kind of like, damn, that's tough. I do kind of see where they're coming from. I feel like Solomon's have officially reached like the peak hypeness in terms of like everyone's wearing them. Like I'll go on the subway and I'll just see like just some random guy going to work that's like rocking Solomon's with like business casual attire. And then you'll also see like the fashion gorpcore mother. But I'm not gonna switch up now. I've always really liked Solomon's, and I still do. I'm not gonna say that they're S tier, but I'm gonna put them in A. Alrighty, next up, yet another brand. 3 out of the 4 first ones are brands, but we have Carfart, which honestly, I don't necessarily see Carfart as a trend. I mean, we've been talking about workwear since like probably 2020, maybe even 2019. And sure, they have select items like the Detroit jacket that had like a really prominent moment like during COVID and all that, but it's kind of here to stay. There's definitely cringe and not cringe ways to sort of wear the Carfart, but I feel like it would be kind of ridiculous if I didn't put it sort of high up on the tier list. So I'm gonna put it in A as well, I think. All right, next up, I like this one. We have Ballerina Shoes. I don't know if they're talking about like the traditional ballet flats or the ones that kind of like actually have the ribbons that kind of go around your legs. And also they have them for men and women. I think this person specifically said women's, but we're gonna do both. And I kind of like them. I don't think I'm really gonna buy a pair or wear them myself, but I do like, especially on the men's front, that we're bringing some more of that femininity into menswear. So I appreciate that. And in terms of the women's like fashion side, I actually like them as well. Like, I think they're cool. I think they're fun. I do like the ones where they go like up on the legs. I mean, I don't have really that much of an opinion on these, but for that reason, we're gonna go with B tier. I think that's a safe, like, I like them, but I don't have that much of an opinion on them type of tier. Next up, we have Old Money. Another one that we should have all seen coming. You guys know how I feel about Old Money. It's pretty much white dudes wearing very normal clothing. And it started as like specific brands that were considered to be Old Money. The Loro Pianas of the world, the Brunello Cucinellis, the Zinnia, you name it. But now it's people wearing Zara, you know what I mean? It's people wearing sweater polos from Zara with linen pants and loafers and calling it Old Money. And it's really cringe, and I'm gonna just cut to the chase and put it right in F tier where it belongs. Thank you. Next up, Crocs. And Crocs have definitely had a moment. Obviously, they've been around for a long time. And they're a comfy, cozy shoe. But now we have like the Shrek Crocs. We have the Cowboy Crocs, which I really wanted. And then Crocs sent me this other pair that I actually have over there that are pretty cool. They're not like my favorite thing ever. I wanted the Cowboy Crocs. That was the real winner in my eyes. But yeah, Crocs, they're fine. I'm gonna put them in C tier. All right, next up we have Chrome Farts, specifically the cross denim. And this person was hating on them, and I do kind of agree. Although I kind of like some Chrome Farts. Like, I think the jewelry is fine. I think select pieces are kind of cool. The leather stuff is kind of cool. But the jeans, I feel like, are just such a cop-out with a lot of outfits. Like, when you see them in an outfit, usually it's like the person's wearing chrome hearts, but the outfit isn't really good. And, like, for some reason, we're in the year of proportions. Like, everyone wants to talk about proportions and silhouettes and yada, yada, yada. That whole sentiment is just thrown out the window when it's chrome hearts, I feel like. You can have chrome hearts Levi's that fit like absolute dookie, but if you're wearing chrome hearts Levi's, like, they're like just automatically cool. I do agree with you. I think that that's kind of lame, and I don't think that they're really worth the money. So I'm gonna put it in D tier and make some people angry. Next up, yet another brand. We have Timberland. I think we're just gonna go through every single shoe brand. This could have just been a shoe brand tier list. I feel like Timberlands are having a bit of a moment right now. They've been a thing like for a while, I guess. They kind of go like up and down in terms of like popularity, but like when you look at like history, they have a lot of brand history. A lot of like celebrities have been wearing them over the years. They're a prominent thing in New York, but they're not necessarily my style. I've had a pair in the past, but like there's just other boots that I would rather wear. I do think that they look better beat up. Like, you can tell a Timberland wearer versus like someone who's like wearing them because they're now trendy, and it's like so apparent. And like, that's honestly the difference of them being cool or not in my eyes. If it's an effortless thing, it's cool. I think because of their sort of like rich heritage and all that, we can place them like above Crocs and Uggs. But because I don't really necessarily wear them myself, and this is my tier list, we're gonna put them in B tier. All right, we got to keep it rolling. Next up, we have the keys on the belt loop. And honestly, I don't know why so much talk has gone around this year about that being like a big trend, because like when I first jumped on TikTok, I feel like it was already getting trendy, and that was in like 2020. For the sake of this video, 2023 trend. I think it's fine. I think it's like a good, like, simple thing that anybody can do that doesn't really involve going out and buying something super crazy. But at the end of the day, it's just your silly little keys on a belt loop. So we're gonna put it in C. I think that it's just kind of like a whatever thing, you know, like sometimes I do it, but like a lot of times I don't. It's just kind of a whatever thing. All right, next up, someone said anything Y2K is ass. And while I probably don't think everything that's Y2K is ass, I do kind of agree. Like, I'm not really into all the Y2K bullshit trends going around. We're gonna put it in D tier. All right, next up we have trench coats being like a comeback thing, like just longer coats. And I actually do kind of agree. I never really thought about it, but I have been wearing longer coats, and like a lot of them are just like older ones that I just have kind of like gotten secondhand. But I guess that is sort of a thing that more people are doing now. Like, you're seeing more longer coats. I really like that, to be honest. I think it's nice to have like some diversity. For the longest time, everyone was just wearing the silly little work jackets at the waistline. And so like it's cool to have something that's very like kind of opposite side of that. Obviously trench coats are classic. We're gonna put this in A tier because it's kind of already a classic anyways. Next up we have loafers, and again, loafers are kind of classic. People are saying that they're trendy, but I feel like that's like more in the streetwear / mainstream TikTok fashion. I see them as kind of more of a staple, so not really too much to say there. I'm gonna put them in S tier because although I don't necessarily wear loafers all the time, I kind of prefer boots or derbies. I just think that they're kind of classic, and it's kind of silly to put them on a trend list. Next up, we have flared pants, and this person said that they were the worst. Obviously, you guys know that I like flared pants. I've been wearing them probably since like 2019 or earlier. Like, I mean, I've been wearing them for long enough now where like all the people who said I would stop wearing them and that it's so trendy, like, I feel like we've kind of gotten past that, you know? Like, I don't think like maybe the super flares are a little bit out there, and like those could be qualified as trendy, but like a boot cut or just like a slight flare, I like that. And I feel like it's kind of not really going anywhere right now. Like maybe eventually, but like I much prefer the flare to like the extreme baggy. So I'm gonna put them in A tier because this is my list and I like flare pants. Next up, we have cowboy boots. And yeah, that's another one where they kind of go in and out of being trendy. And I feel like every other year they're trendy, especially if you're like someone who lives in the South. Like, I mean, I'm from Georgia. Like, I've seen people wear cowboy boots like pretty much forever. Maybe not in like a way that's like fashionable, but just like wearing them. I think like B tier. Like, I think B tier is pretty fair. All right, next up we have jorts. Jorts. I like jorts. I think that this year they really got ran through to a point where it got a little annoying. The super long, oversized, frankly too big in the waist, belted up jorts, I'm not a huge fan of. I think they look just like sloppy. They don't look very good in my opinion. But I do like the silliness of just like a good pair of jorts. I don't want to let like something getting popular ruin my opinion of it, so I'm not gonna like throw it in F tier by any means. But I was never like a huge jorts guy to begin with. Like, I just kind of had like a pair, and I still do, I think, have a pair. We'll put it in C tier. All right, next up we have tooth gems, putting the little gems all up in your teeth. I remember there was a brand that reached out and wanted to send me some, and I was just like, absolutely not. I didn't even reply because I personally think that they're kind of corny. I just think that they look not great. I'd rather like just have someone go and get a grill than tooth gems. I just think that the little gems, they're weird. I would be afraid that I'm gonna like swallow one of them. They're probably made really shitty anyway, so you're probably just like ingesting like plastics and weird shit. We're gonna throw that in F tier. All right, next up we have Adidas Sambas. And I know you guys aren't gonna wanna hear this, but I think we're kind of towards the end. Like, I think we're towards the end of the trend cycle. I feel like it's kind of like the New Balance 550s. Too many colors are coming out. The Wales Bonner ones are starting to get ran through. They're starting to like sit, actually. Like, there's a few of them that are like still available. Now that they're available to everybody, people are gonna start, you know, not liking it as much. Then they'll put out even more colors. And then, you know, I give it a few more drops before like people decide that they hate them. Adidas Sambas, I'm gonna have to give them the C tier. Sorry. If you have them, it's fine. I've seen some fits with them where like it looks fine because, again, they're just normal shoes. Like, you can't mess it up that much. But yeah, C tier it is. Baggy jeans, very baggy jeans. Jaded London Colossus ass jeans. It's gotten to be too much. I made a whole video about this. They've just gotten to be way too much. They've gotten out of hand. They're starting to look ridiculous. They're way too baggy. They don't even fit. People are belting up like jeans that are 5 sizes too big with these like really artificial, shitty looking fades on them. And I don't like it, but I do like a wider pant. I do like a slight bagginess. So yeah, we're gonna meet somewhere in the middle here. I think B is a good place to be. To recap here, we have one in the S tier, which is Loafers, which to be honest isn't even necessarily my favorite on this list, but for whatever reason I chose those to be S tier, nothing else. We do have some A tiers, Solomon's, Carfart, trench coats, flare pants. We got some B's, we got some C's, we got a D or two, and we got some F's. The worst is Old Money and Tooth Gems and the big red boots. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. Obviously it's been a while since I posted, so my bad. We'll get better, maybe. I say that every time. Thanks for watching. Bye.